All right, and welcome to part 2 of today's Epiphan product roundup. Yes, we had such a great talk with George earlier that we went way over time talking about the different verticals and how the Epiphan products are used, that now we're just going to go into a show that's going to be, this is going to be the sales pitch, folks. We're just going to basically concentrate on the products, what they cost, how affordable they are, how you can get them. So I want to jump right in, and first I want to introduce our man, George Herbert. Come on in. He's from Epiphan. He's going to talk about the products with us. We're going to go through the whole product lineup. All right. So our first product that we want to talk to you about is the Pearl Mini. The Pearl Mini is $34.95. It is a basic dual capture record streaming product. George, take away. Tell us about the Pearl Mini a little bit.
Yeah, so the Pearl Mini is a standalone all-in-one appliance for small-scale live event production, lecture capture, things along those lines where you might have two, maybe potentially, depending on how you're using it, 3 simultaneous inputs from cameras, someone's laptop giving a presentation, or other HDMI or SDI inputs. You could also use USB webcams. There's lots of ways to bring video into the Pearl. You can stream and record simultaneously, including you could be streaming 2 full HD outputs and recording at the same time, different destinations at the same time, as long as you have bandwidth for it. And the idea here is with those inputs, you can create mixing for picture-in-picture, side-by-side, add graphics as backgrounds or overlays, and whatever you might need there. Make a bunch of these different layouts and switch between them on the fly. The audio, I think, is actually what personally I think is really interesting about the Pearl Mini, is that on the back you have professional audio setups. There's a lot of encoders on the market that might be a similar footprint, but they're dealing with the 3.5 inch, 3.5 mil, 1/8 inch kind of jacks, unbalanced. Pearl Mini has XLR TRS combo jacks on it. They'll be line level or mic level, and they can even provide phantom power, meaning that you could run 2 microphones directly off of a Pearl Mini with no other audio infrastructure involved. You don't have to have a preamp. You don't have to have a mixer. So for the small scale event where you want to put everything in a case and go with it, the Pearl Mini is an awesome choice for that, because you can do your switching and starting and stopping and confidence monitoring from that big 7-inch touchscreen. Just run everything into it and you're good to go.
Cool. I also wanted to bring to people's attention a Pearl Mini bundle that we have from Videoguys, and that you get the Pearl Mini, a hard carrying case, a PTZOptics 12x USB camera, and a 64 gigabyte Pro Grade card for $49.99. That's a great little value. If you're looking for a run and gun, on the go, $5,000 solution where you can have a single camera operator and go, this is a great choice, folks. I love this solution. Cool. Now I got to go back to the hidden slides, so bear with me, folks. I'm sorry about that. Now let's talk about the Pearl. The Pearl 2. Now the Pearl 2 starts at $63.75. Don't have one on the table because we have the Pearl rack, but tell us about the Pearl 2 and how it's a little bit bigger and better than the Mini.
I mean, it's a similar idea. It's a standalone all-in-one appliance for streaming and recording, mixing, switching, and all of these pieces. The general idea, it's the bigger brother. It's got a lot more power. It's got 6 inputs instead of up to 3. It can do up to 6 simultaneous full HD encodes. It has options for up to 4K encoding and streaming. It also has chroma keying, NDI support, all these other tips and tricks that can be really useful in maybe more of a studio environment instead of run and gun. We also have the rack mount versions, as you mentioned, Gary. So whether it's the more portable version, like on that slide, or whether it's the rack mount versions, there's a physical variant of the Pearl 2 to fit a lot of scenarios. That smaller desktop one comes in one of those hard cases. We call it the portable one. But some people want to put it in the closet with all their other gear, so you buy the rack mount instead. And again, very similar to its little brother. You have XLR jacks in the back for analog audio. You have 4 HDMI inputs, 2 SDI inputs, options for USB cameras, options for NDI, options for RTSP streams on the network. All kinds of variety of inputs that you can bring together.
One of the things I like to stress for people is, let's say you're an organization where you're being pulled and asked for a lot of different things. The Pearl 2 is the ultimate Swiss Army knife because Now, the Pearl Mini is good in a limited way, but the Pearl 2, what I like about that is someone's going to say, I want to encode to 3 different things simultaneously. No, this guy wants to record in 4 different frame rates. So this guy wants to mix 5 different sources. You know, the fact that it could do all of this stuff or just a subset of it. I've got some guys who have a Pearl 2 where one group uses it just to record, and then a different group uses it just to go live, and another group uses it as a complete mixer for lectures. You know, whatever you need, you could do. It's a very flexible product and a problem solver. It's $63.75. I think it's the most powerful, reliable, stable, easy to use recording, streaming, live production appliance around for under 10 grand, and it's a lot less than 10 grand.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, we're going to talk about the Webcaster X2, and I saw that one of our guests asked a question, can I use the Canon DSLR SL2 or GoPro 7 Webcaster X2? The answer is any product that gives you a clean HDMI output, you can go and you can record to with this product. Oh, showing you the wrong side. How do you like that? The key here is that the HDMI has to be clean. In the early days of DSLR, the HDMI output oftentimes gave you the focus screen or the on-screen menus or whatever you're looking at. If that's what you're getting out of your camera, then you're not going to get good results with the Webcaster X2. But if you have any kind of modern camera now over the last couple of years, be it a GoPro 7, a DSLR, a Vixie, or a point and shoot, you could just plug that HDMI right into the Webcaster X2 and you could stream. Plus, as I mentioned in the show earlier, you can take any existing mixing product you have that has an HDMI out and add live streaming to your existing in-space live mixing and production solution.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not I'm not a huge fan of the GoPro Hero 7 myself because I think the 8s are better and the 6s were a little better in some ways. The HDMI outs on the 7s were a little weird, so I don't totally love them, but they do work. You know, DSLRs, they're great and everyone's using them for video, but like you mentioned, Gary, you want to make sure that it's clean, actually live. Some cameras will only output over HDMI in a playback mode, not just in a live preview mode. And then also, you know, the risk with the DSLR is that on a mirrored camera, every so often the mirror has to lift. And so that limits the amount of time you can actually run, 20, 30 minutes before that happens. So if you want to live stream for an hour, you're better off with a mirrorless camera or a camcorder style. And they're typically much, much better with a HDMI output anyways.
Right. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about, because I have this here that I forgot to mention earlier, but it's got Wi-Fi connectivity. So you can go to the LAN port or you can go to Wi-Fi. And the Wi-Fi makes it really interesting and good. First of all, if you're going to go Wi-Fi for a live stream shoot, I am begging you, test. Don't rely on, if it worked on Tuesday, doesn't mean it's going to work on Sunday. You got to test it and test it a few days before. But if you have a controlled environment where you can use Wi-Fi, what's cool about that is your camera operator, if he's on a camera, can now move around a little bit. Now, I'm not suggesting he run all over the place, but if he's in a venue, like a church for a wedding, he could be down, crouching on the aisle where the bride and groom come down, and then follow them around and have a different angle when he's, you know, at the ceremony itself, getting, you know, the pastor and the bride and groom talking. So the Wi-Fi is cool. It eliminates a cable, and a lot of folks love that, but always test before you plan on going live with it.
One of the advantages of that is the Webcaster is small enough, light enough, and can be powered off of a USB battery bank because it just uses a 5-volt, 3-amp power supply. That, yeah, if you're connected to Wi-Fi or tethered to your smartphone to get LTE, you can run and gun with it very, very easily with it almost in your back pocket.
Cool. I want to talk about the AVIOs because I love them. Once again, there are other people who make products that look like these products, that do the same thing these products do, but I'm telling you folks, they're not these products. The AVIOs, as we discussed a little bit, were built for really commercial, industrial, medical type applications. These things are rock solid. They dissipate heat properly. You can drop them. I'm not suggesting you do, but if you do, it's still going to work. You heard that thump. Let me hear you knock it. This is rugged. It's metal. It's not cheap plastic. It's not something that's going to heat up and stop working. And if you're doing a live stream, you can't risk that 30 minutes in the device is going to fail because it got too hot. These things run for hours and days with no problem whatsoever. They start at about $500. We also have some bundles with Wirecast. One of the things that's cool about Wirecast is it works on PC and Mac. And people say, I want to stream on my Mac. What can I get? We say, get Wirecast on your Mac. and now use a couple of AVIOs to come in USB 3, or you can come in NDI if you have NDI cameras. You can do a nice production with Wirecast, either the Studio or the Pro. We have different bundles available with 1 or 2 of the AVIO encoders. We think they're great. We love them. We recommend them very highly. They also support vMix, OBS, just about any operating software because they don't require drivers. They just show up as if they were a Logicam, like a USB camera. So you're going to get up to 4K. It's just a tremendous product, tremendous technology. Thank you for going longer. Our show was closer to 45 minutes. I normally don't do that, but I felt I really wanted to deep dive into the products as well as go over the overview that we did. So George, can't thank you enough for coming on the show. Video Guys Newsday Tuesday. Tuesdays at 2 p.m. You give us 15, 20 minutes, or today, 45 minutes. We're going to teach you all about the products we sell and how to use them, where they fit in, what's the right product for you, and things like that. You can always give us a call at 800-323-2325 if you have more questions. Also, a ton of videos are on our website, on our YouTube page, on Epiphans YouTube page. Also, in fact, George, give us a plug again. When is your show at Epiphan?
Yeah, so we do a live show every Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern, usually here from our studio, talking something to do with streaming and not always about our products, just shooting the breeze on what's happening in the world.
Awesome. Thank you very much. This is Gary, Video Guys Newsday Tuesday. Thank you, Epiphan. Thank you, George. We'll see you next Tuesday. Peace.
Thanks, everyone.
Video Guys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.